It's almost December, you guys, and you know what that means. It's the same month that Christmas is in. It's fantastic. We should be really excited, but we're going to enjoy our last day in November, and we're going to enjoy right now because it's Wend Nerd Out time. How you guys doing today? Happy last day in November. Happy Wend Nerd Out time. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of a partner, and we don't mean a lover. We mean a lifting partner. A lifting partner. Why is it so important? Well, obviously, you can hold each other accountable, right? It's a little bit safer if you're lifting with somebody. They can critique your form and they can watch you and things like that. You have somebody to go with, right? They'll get you off your butt. They'll get you to the gym. That's a big thing, right? And it seems like it's easier to get through it when you're with somebody. Not to mention the timing of sets becomes a little bit easier. You're not sitting there thinking, all right, I got to take some more rest. You both pretty much just go after the other one. You know, I think 3 people is the best number in that sense. You know, one person goes next with no rest. But there's another huge thing that I want to talk about today. It's the 0 or 100 principle. And this, with a lifting partner, with a spotter, you know, in general, either way, is something often neglected, right? We don't realize how important it really is. And what I mean by the 0 or 100 principle is that if you are alone and you're on the bench press, for example, you're either going to complete 0 of the rep or 100% of the rep. Because if you do 95, it's coming down on your chin, right? So you're either, if you do 30, it's definitely coming down on you, right? So if you have somebody that's there to spot you, you can do 80% and they can pick up the other 20%. So then you can progress better. The next workout, maybe in the same weight and the same rep that you're on, you do 85%. They do 15 and so on. And eventually you get 100% and you can move up to another rep or move up in the weight, however you want to look at it. Right? But if you're alone, you don't get the same perks in that sense, right? And you're selling yourself short. So, what is the best way to spot someone, right? Well, the best way is to keep the bar moving, right? No matter what exercise you're doing, you know, unless you're purposefully doing an isometric hold, like we talked about with squats yesterday, coming down and holding it, right? For hypertrophy, coming down slow and things like that. You're doing it with lightweight, right? But if you're trying to do normal reps, that bar shouldn't stop moving. Because what happens is when it stops moving and you go to jolt to make it move again, that's when we get hurt, right? Really, the ascent and descent of a workout are the most common times that we get hurt. Picking the dumbbell up off the rack awkwardly or putting it back awkwardly. Right? It's actually not through the fluid motion of the lift, but if it is going to happen during the lift, it's going to be that sudden jerk, right? Or that twisting, that awkward motion. We use the bench press. I think it's a good example. You know, if the bar stops on you and then you try to get it to go, that's how you get hurt, right? If you have a good spotter, they won't pick the whole thing up. That's really annoying when somebody does that. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that out there. But they will just keep it moving, even if it's moving this slow. As long as it's moving and it doesn't stop. Right? So you can get the maximum amount of benefit out of each rep, out of each set. And what's another big thing? Well, it's fearlessness. It's fearlessness. Not to mention you're less likely, like we say, to get hurt. Right? And aside from the accountability and everything. Fearlessness. When you have somebody behind you, you have no worries. You can just go. You know, if I'm spotting someone, I say, don't think about anything. Don't fear anything. Just push as hard as you can. Just go. Right? I'll take care of the rest. That's what a good spot will do for you. Right? And if it's your buddy, that's great. Or if you just find somebody at the gym to come over, don't be afraid to ask somebody that. Because, you know, a lot of people are thinking the same thing. It's like when nobody raises their hand, but a lot of people have the same question. A lot of people want a spot. They just don't want to be weird or awkward or go over and interrupt somebody else's workout and ask them. But go give them a spot after. Just make friends. Be social, you know. But, the best is if you could just go with somebody And there should be a gym that just provides spotters. Wend Wellness Gym would do that. I promise you that. One day that's going to happen. Here's proof. But you know, the point remains the same, right? That fearlessness, okay, is a huge fact that you can just push and you don't have to worry. All right. So one other type of spotting technique I want to talk about is when somebody's doing dumbbells. Right? Somebody's doing dumbbells on an incline bench press or shoulder press or a regular flat bench press or, you know, whatever it is. What are the planes we need to stabilize? All right, well, dumbbell can go anywhere. Could go anywhere. So if they're not experienced, the person lifting is not, you know, they're kind of a novice, or it's very heavy weight. You know, do you spot from the elbow or do you spot from the wrist? You spot from the wrist. Because if you're holding the wrist, you can control all planes of movement. You just keep your hand like this around their wrist so that if it moves, you're going to catch it. You know, you have to be squeezing the hell out of their wrist. You know, I mean, you have your hands comfortably around them so you can help if they're about to buckle or something like that, and you also can help lift. If you're going by the elbows, which a lot of people like, and you know, I don't mind it. Depends sometimes. You know, that's good to help them get up, right? But they could cock the arm back. They could, you know, go forward. So, you know, that's another little quick tip. Get a spotter, get a lifting partner. It's going to help a lot. It'll make it easier to get through every day. You'll be more excited to go to the gym. You guys can have goals together. You guys can challenge each other. You can hold each other accountable, and you can have a spot. So you don't have to do 0-100, right? You can do somewhere in between. All right, so that's what we got for you guys today. Who do we got on here? Connor, how you doing, man? Happy today. What's up, brother? I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Judith, how you doing? Sammy Hager, what's up, man? Sam, really random. We were talking about how great of an athlete you are the other day when we were at a Friendsgiving. Funny, I thought you'd like to hear that. Yeah, but it was true. Yeah, you're a beast, man. I hope I see you soon, all right? Haven't seen you in a long time. I hope you're doing great. I'm sure you are. But, yeah, Sam was a phenomenal athlete, whether it was soccer, basketball, anything. But, you know, have a great rest of your day, you guys. Thank you so much, and happy Wend Wellness. Have a good one. Ciao.